The scoreboard says you lost. The deal collapsed. The opportunity disappeared. The answer was no. The plan failed. And now you're standing in silence after the setback, asking yourself, what do I do now? Here's the answer. You process it, you learn from it, you rebuild, and then you return, because a setback can change your circumstances without becoming your identity. The chapter may have ended badly, but the story, it's not finished. Welcome to the Unbearably Bullish podcast, the official podcast of the Bull You Can't Bear. I'm your host, Donald Johns, and welcome to Motivation Monday. Today, we are decoding one of the most important abilities anyone can develop, the ability to come back. Everybody loves a comeback story. We love watching the final shot fall. We love seeing the business recover. We love watching the person who was counted out walk back into the arena. But comeback stories look exciting after the comeback succeeds. While you're living through one, it doesn't feel like a movie. There is no dramatic soundtrack. There is no cheering crowd. There's usually confusion, disappointment, embarrassment, and painful questions. Was I wrong to believe I could do this? This is the moment everything changes. Not when the setback happens, but when you decide what the setback means. Does it mean you failed at something, or does it mean you are a failure? Those are completely different conclusions. One describes an event, the other attacks your identity. You can lose a deal without becoming a loser. You can make a mistake without becoming a mistake. You can be rejected without becoming unworthy. You can fall behind without being permanently left behind. The first rule of the comeback is simple. Never turn a temporary event into a permanent identity. Now, let's be honest. Being motivational does not mean pretending setbacks don't hurt. Disappointment is real. Loss is real. Frustration is real. You don't need to smile immediately, post a quote, and pretend everything is fine. That isn't resilience. That's performance. Give yourself permission to process what happened, but don't give the setback permission to take permanent control. Feel it, name it, understand it, but do not build a house inside it. There is a difference between visiting disappointment and moving into disappointment. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What part of this hurts most? What is inside my control now? Strong people, they do not avoid emotion. They refuse to let emotion become the only voice in the room. The story you attach to the setback, imagine two people receiving the same rejection. The first says, this proves I'm not good enough. The second says, this shows me where I need to improve. Same rejection, different meaning, different response, different future. Events carry facts. We attach the interpretation. This opportunity didn't work is a fact. Nothing will ever work is a prediction. I made a poor decision is an observation. I can't make good decisions is an identity statement. Be careful with the language you use after a setback. Your words can become either exit ramp or a prison. Replace I always fail with this attempt failed. Replace I've lost everything with I need to assess what remains. Replace I'm back at zero with I'm restarting with experience. You are rarely starting over with nothing. You are starting again with knowledge, awareness, relationships, and evidence of what doesn't work. That is not zero. That is tuition already paid. Welcome in to the championship film room. Athletes review game film for a reason. Not to punish themselves, to find the truth. They look for the misassignment, the broken coverage, the open teammate, and the decision that changed the play. Your setback deserves the same honest review. Ask 3 questions. Number 1, what was outside my control? Markets, they change. People change their minds. Timing shifts. Unexpected circumstances happen. Identify those factors, but do not use them as excuses. Number 2, what was inside my control? Did you prepare? Did you communicate clearly? Did you execute consistently? Did you ignore warning signs because you wanted the outcome too badly? Did you wait too long to adjust? This question requires courage. And number three, what will I do differently the next time? A setback without reflection becomes repeated pain. A setback with reflection becomes information. Don't waste the lesson by only remembering the loss. Let's do the 4-round comeback code. Process, learn, rebuild, return. Round 1, process. Tell the truth about what happened. No exaggeration, no denial, no pretending. Separate the facts from the fear. Round 2, learn, extract the lesson. What did the experience reveal about your strategy, preparation, relationships, systems, or the decision making? You cannot change the past, but you can make the past valuable. Round 3, rebuild. Return to the foundation. Sleep, structure, communication, discipline, financial responsibility, training, preparation. The comeback is rarely one giant heroic move. It usually begins with one stable action performed consistently. Round 4, return. Eventually, you have to re-enter the arena, make the call, submit the proposal, take the meeting, restart the workout, reopen the plan, try again with better information. Reflection has value. Preparation has value, but neither can replace the moment when you step forward again. Process, learn, rebuild, return. That is the comeback code. We're going to do the bull versus bear. The bear says, hide the failure. The bull says, study the lesson. The bear says, wait until you feel completely confident. The bull says, confidence returns through action. The bear says, protect your ego. The bull says, protect your future. The bear asks, what will people think? The bull asks, what can I become? Being bullish does not mean believing everything will always work. It means believing that when something doesn't work, you can learn, adapt, and continue building. Let me ask you something personal. What setback are you still allowing to define you? A missed opportunity, a failed relationship, a financial mistake, a career decision, a promise you didn't keep, a version of yourself you wish you had handled differently? You cannot rewrite what happened, but you can decide what happens next. Maybe your comeback is not about returning to the old version of your life. Maybe it is about building a stronger version that could not have existed without the lesson. A comeback is not always restoration. Sometimes it is renovation and reinvention. Here's this week's Bull Charge Challenge. Take one setback you are still carrying and create your comeback card. Write 4 headings. Process what actually happened. Learn what did it teach me. Rebuild what foundation needs attention. Return what action will prove I'm moving again. Then choose one action and complete it with the next 24 hours. Not the next month, not when the fear disappears, within 24 hours. Send the email, make the call, create the plan, ask for feedback, restart the habit. Take one step back into the arena. Your comeback does not begin when everyone believes in you again. It believes when you decide to believe that another chapter is still possible. I'm going to do this week's quote of the week. A setback may interrupt your momentum, but only surrender can end your story. That's powerful. Let's do a Monday commitment and say this with me. I will not confuse a setback with my identity. I will process the experience, learn the lesson, rebuild the foundation, and return stronger. One more time. I will process, I will learn, I will rebuild, I will return. Your setback is not your final chapter. It is an event, a lesson, a decision point. The comeback will not erase what happened, but it can transform what the experience produces. Do not hide from the film, study it. Do not carry the mistake as an identity, convert it into information. Do not wait for the perfect confidence. Rebuild confidence through action. The world may remember the moment you fell, but you determine whether that becomes the ending or the beginning of the comeback. Process, learn, rebuild, return. The arena is still waiting. This is the Bull You Can't Bear. This is the Unbearably Bullish podcast. This is our movement. Strong markets, stronger mindset, unlimited opportunity. Let's follow the herd and always stay unbearably bullish. I'm your host, Donald Johns. We love all of you. Now step back into the arena and have a successful, productive, and profitable day.